Here we are. Welcome to a new episode of the Geary Cast. My name is Chris Marquez, and I'm not very happy today, this Monday. But not happy about Malaga Club de Football, of course, because I am very happy with my co-host tonight, which we will start with Sergio. Sergio, how are you?
Well, I'm not very happy for, of course, for Malaga's defeat yesterday, but I'm happy to be here in the Giri cast and let's complain a little bit about Malaga.
Sometimes it's also nice to complain, but I think if you lose, it's not a problem because football teams lose. But the situation because of this loss where we are at is not looking very well. But I'm very happy to announce his debut. We announced him already on social media, but he's making his podcast debut tonight. Is Joe? Welcome, Joe.
Thanks, Chris. Hi, Sergio. Very happy to be here. I've heard some very nice words about me over the last few podcasts, so very happy to finally be here and get started. Of course, it would be nicer in different circumstances for the club, but like you said, losses happen, and there's still some time to go until the end of the season.
There is. Tell something about yourself, because an Englishman living in Germany is not something I guess happens a lot, is it?
No, it is fairly uncommon. I'm English from, we'll say London. But yeah, I ended up in Cologne, Germany for around 5 years now. The reasons behind that quite unclear to me still. I won't go too political for the reasons behind it, but yeah, been there for 5 years. Met a Spanish girl out here, which made me fall back in love with Spanish football, and I've always had like a bit of a soft spot for Malaga. I think it's the easy answer that everyone says that that Champions League run in the early 2010s, but it actually was the Geary cast, listening to the Geary cast, which I randomly found on Twitter a few years ago, that kind of reignited my soft spot for the club. And not much has changed, I guess, for the club in the last few years. It's been very up and down, but yeah, that's my story.
I guess for some people, you're a noise they have heard before, because you had a podcast before, which I liked very much. I maybe the best thing I liked the podcast was the name. It's a very cool name.
Thank you.
About your podcast. I won't spoil the name yet. I'll let you have on.
Sure, no worries. So I was part of the England B Team podcast. The name, is quite original, and actually the name actually came from, maybe Chris, you're aware of it, maybe you, Sergio, because of your English background as well. Have you seen Mike Bassett, England manager?
No.
No? Okay. But it's a very famous English film about, like, in the early 2000s, about this guy who comes from the lower leagues, becomes England manager, and this airport scene, and pretty much they called the Irish team the England B Team. And then the guy that I was doing the podcast with was Irish. Perfect name for us. And then, we were just covering random topics, a bit of a Bayer Leverkusen focus as well, because that was our preferred team in Germany, and actually featured on Matt's old podcast, Platini Played for Kuwait, to talk about that famous Leverkusen team in the early 2000s. That podcast is came to the end now, but we covered lots of topics, and always, I think my favorite thing about podcasting is just talking about football with people that also love talking about football. So very happy to be back in the game, let's call it.
It's fun, isn't it? And you guys had, for our Christmas episode, we did a quiz. You guys gave us a question, and I still hate you guys for it, because again, 99% of the questions were English questions or Premier League questions, which was pretty hard for me. So I lost. Thank you, Joe, for your question.
Lo siento. I'm sorry.
Look one fair and square. He was really good. I'm not looking forward going into Malaga. But maybe we can start with half a good result this weekend, Sergio.
Yeah, Atletico Malagueño drew against Malaga City 1-0, and it's not a win, but it's a good point because Real Jaén dropped points as well against Wedor Dakar. So yeah, I guess it's a point on the road, and it's 3 above now. Second is Real Jaén. That's the team that's been all season pushing with them, and yes, I guess a good result. Malaga Femenino didn't play this weekend. The last time they did it was last week against Elche, and they lost 4-0. So they will be heading against Tenerife this Sunday. So let's see if they can bounce back with a good result. And yeah, in that way, we can say it's a good result for Atletico Malagueño.
It's a bit of a good result because winning would be make a difference of 5. I think we will talk about Chupete. We'll talk about Chupete more a bit later. But yeah, it isn't going the way it should go with Atletico Malagueño without Chupete, is it?
Yeah, I mean,
well, no, it's not. Sorry. You want
Go ahead.
to head to Joe? Sorry.
no, I mean that's the problem. Like, it's finding the balance between wanting to promote your youth players, but also that comes at the, like say, the negative for the team they should be playing with, in quotation marks. It's about finding the balance, but I think at this point in the season, when Atletico Malagueño has so much to play for, I think it's a tricky one. But I think for what Chupete offers to the first team, again, we'll go into a bit detail later. I don't think outweighs what he would offer to Malagueño.
Sergio, if you are Sergio Pellicer, you have the same name. What would you do with Chupete? Or if you were Bravo, let's say if you were Sergio Pellicer and you had to call Bravo this weekend, what would you say to Bravo or to Funes?
It's difficult because in the situation Atletico Malagueño is, it's tough for them. They're fighting for promotion as well. To pinch a player like Chupete has been really important for them all season, but Malaga playing to stay in Segunda. So the first team is Sergio Pellicer, and I think he's got the decision of bringing this player to the first team, and I think he's in his right to do it. And I think Bravo doesn't have a problem with it.
Would you keep him with the first team?
Yes, I would. Yeah, I think he's been good when he's played. Yesterday, he might have not had the best game, but I think he's doing well. At this point, maybe I would drop him. I would play Dioni in front of him. We don't want to mention Baturina because he hasn't been really good. And yeah, right now, I would keep him until the end of the season. Yeah.
Okay. I think we have also some news, and we have our debutant today, Joe, for the news.
Yes, I mean, yeah, there's a few, I guess you could say, not really headlines, but a few news topics I thought might be worth speaking about today. Maybe one of them will start on a bit more of a somber note, because actually on the 2nd of April was the anniversary of the death of Juanito, who died at 37 a number of years ago now. And I mean, for me, who's kind of new to the club, I wasn't familiar with him, but when you just look at his honors on Wikipedia, both, of course, Real Madrid stands out, but of course, winning La Segunda with Malaga, I'm sure he's someone that means a lot to the club. So maybe one of you maybe want to touch on that. We also released a nice video about him as well.
I think he is most loved at Real Madrid. That's for sure. But he was a player who played for CD Malaga. Was very good, I think. Went to Madrid and he became a true legend there for the Spanish national team and for Real Madrid. The 7th minute is his minute in the Bernabeu, and I think if you make it to be maybe, I think the best player or the most loved player in Real Madrid's history, I think you're a big guy, isn't it? And the beautiful thing, and maybe why people in Malaga love him so much, that he is from Fuengirola, born in Fuengirola, played for Los Boliches, a true amateur team here on the Costa del Sol. Played for Malaga, and I also think that his tragic death, because he died at the age of 37 by a car accident, is also something that, I don't know, that people don't forget easily when such things happen to players, isn't it, Sergio? What do you know? Because you're the youngest, I guess. What do you know about Juanito?
Yeah. It's, as you said, I obviously know that he played for Malaga, but what everyone knows and talks about that he's a legend for Real Madrid. I do think that maybe the club has to work a little bit and remember his name a little bit better, because he's a legend not only for Real Madrid, so as you said, Spanish football. And I haven't really seen a lot of him. I've always heard about him. But he's a legend, and I think the club should work a little bit more and remember a little bit more.
Did your father see him play?
Yeah, he did, and I think he actually went to a game that Malaga won Real Madrid with a big scoreline, something like that. I don't know if I'm wrong here, but
because your father is a big Malaga fan as well. You always go to games with him. Is there one player from when he was young or from that he always keeps talking about?
Well, he's always talked to me about Juanito. Because when he was little, I think he had a season ticket for a few years, and he has said about Juanito, and he always mentioned him. That's why I know that a lot of people, when they said to me about Juanito, he was a legend for Real Madrid, I always said, "Oh, but did you know he actually played for Malaga?" And a lot of people don't know, even from being from the city. That's why I think that there's a problem there. I mean, a legend like him should be known that he played for the city's club, and I think there's a little bit to work there.
Yeah. What other news do you have for us, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, from apart maybe on the pitch, not so quiet. Maybe off the pitch, he was a bit quiet. But one thing as well I did notice as well, it's a former player having quite a good end to the season. It's Roberto with Rayo Vallecano. Of course, the easy question would be here: what difference would he have made to the squad this season? I think that's quite of an empty question. But there's a lot of transfer rumours around him as well, reporting he has a release clause of 10 million euros, when Malaga would be entitled to 10% of that, which of course should help transfers, maybe not in Malaga's case.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it's good to see a former player doing well, but also painful at the same time when you have the current striker situation with the current Malaga squad.
And the question is, would he make a difference at this Malaga? Well, I don't have a doubt that with Roberto, we would be playing for playoffs right now. What do you think, Sergio?
I don't know if playoff, but we would be much better than the situation we are at the minute. I think he's a top player. We all saw it last season, not only for his goals, so only for the commitment that he showed on the field. I think he's a very complete striker for nowadays, and he's demonstrating that he's got the level to play the top flight. And we do miss him a lot. So I'm happy that he's doing well.
And Joe, you also have the most important results of this weekend. The place we didn't want to look at, but we have to look at starting from this week.
Yes. So the teams around Malaga, I guess you can say, did pretty good. Unfortunate for the club. So Eldense got a late win against Cartagena. I mean, at this point, I'm not sure if you can expect Cartagena to help you out, but whenever a team you're competing with gets a late win, it's always frustrating. Real Zaragoza also won against the high fly Mirandés. Yeah, again, one of those results of 1-0 can go either way. Another fairly late goal, and Tenerife are now on 3 in a row. I mean, I don't think, touch wood, crossing everything, Tenerife are one of the teams that Malaga will be competing with to stay up. But of course, it's frustrating to see all these teams around the club winning, but it's not happening for Malaga.
No, I've heard some people doubting whether Pellicer should stay. I think we will keep that for after the Cordoba review. And I think it's time to get into the Cordoba review. Although looking at Sergio, he's not really looking forward to it. Neither am I. And I don't think Joe is really looking forward to it as well. But we have to do it. And I think before we talk about Cordoba, there was a moment of silence in La Rosaleda because of the death of a youth player of Malaga Club de Football, young Fernando. Horrible, isn't it?
It is. It is horrible at such a young age, losing your life. It's really sad. But in one way, La Rosaleda paid the respects, and I'm sure that you'll be still watching Malaga from somewhere else.
What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, there's not much you can say for situations like this. Of course, it's always great when people come together to, I guess you can say, celebrate someone's life or pay their respects. But yeah, I mean, such a tragic situation, and yeah, I guess our thoughts all the Kirikasa with his family.
In situations like these, we have this whole every week we have agenda. Joe, you made this week's agenda. Very nice, mate. But with news like this doesn't really matter anymore, does it? Because that shows you that football's actually not that important in life. Although we sometimes think it's important, and to us it's important, but it shows you these news things or these messages that young people dying. That is, I think, the most tragic thing there is. Malaga kicked off at 6:30 last night. What did we think before the match started, Sergio?
Well, I knew they were going to be a difficult game. Cordoba, I think a part of the bad start that they had to the season have been playing quite well. I think they're a strong side. Last year, for me, was the best team that came to La Rosaleda. And yeah, I expected it was going to be a difficult game. But playing at home, Malaga had to get the 3 points. So I didn't think anything else before the match.
What did you think before the match started, Joe? Were
So-
you hopeful?
So my girlfriend's and her family are actually from Cordoba, and they are all, some of them are really big fans, and they are all, every time I speak to them about football, usually about La Liga, but often also about Cordoba and La Segunda, they are very positive about Cordoba. And yeah, I mean, I guess it's a very different situation to around the feeling around Malaga. I think it's more when you see a team playing with such intensity, which can go either way, good or bad, but the players really leaving it all on the pitch and really believing in what the manager wants, then it always fills you with, I guess you can say, fear or doubt before you play them in that next game. So I think whenever the club's playing at home, you always want to be positive, but when a team that maybe isn't high up in the league, but you know what they can do, you're always not super confident.
Yeah. So we were at Bar Hermanos Madrid. Malaga put out the team sheet. Herrero at goal. That's no surprise, I guess. Puga started. Einar started. Pastor started. La Rubia, Kevin Medina, Manu Molina, Dani Sanchez, Luis Mi, Lobete, and Chupete. A good starting 11, Joe?
I mean, it was only 3 changes from the last game, which of course wasn't a great outcome. But I think, I mean, you haven't asked me who one of my favorite players in the squad is yet, but I really like Dione, and whenever he doesn't play, I find it quite disappointing. I think he offers a lot. And of course, he wasn't there starting today. And one of the players who I'm not seeing enough from at the moment is Kevin. So when I saw him starting, of course, no disrespect to Kevin and to Matt, I know he's a big fan. But it didn't really fill me with a lot of hope. It wasn't a super change. I like Dani Sanchez coming in. I think he offers a lot on the left-hand side. But when the attack offers two players that I'm personally not got much faith in at the moment, in Chupete and Kevin, then yeah, when you need goals, I wasn't super optimistic.
Sergio, what did you think? Any? Would you have made any changes? Did you think this was perfect?
I was happy with the Pastor were back in the team. I think you need to change something at the back, and I was happy to see Pastor back in the squad. And yeah, it's what Joe was saying. Kevin, I know he came from two games that he had two assists, but I don't see that he offers anything different. To be honest, so I was not really bothered about Kevin. And yeah, I think I would have played the striker that comes in and scores in the last match. For me, always has to start. And yeah, the others, I was happy with Danny Sanchez as well, because I think Victor's been really poor, especially in the last game. And yeah, for the rest, I'm not really surprised.
I don't know if I was surprised, but I don't understand why you don't start with just one striker every week, because that way you give one striker the most confident, and I think what a striker does need is confidence to score goals. And I think if you change them every week, you don't. Not any of them get the confidence, do they? And then I think if you have to start with a striker, I mean, I never been to university, but the most normal thing to do, in my opinion, is to start with the striker that gave you most goals, and that is the
Yeah.
only. I understand maybe in this match with the high pressure of Cordoba, and the Cordoba really playing their tactic is to play on the attack, so that creates a lot of space on their half of the pitch. Maybe he chose for the player with the most pace. I think that's makes sense in a way. I think the fastest one of the three strikers is probably Chupete. But yeah, that was the thing I had, and I opted for Lobete. I think we'll talk a bit more about Lobete later. But I was happy to see Lobete on the pitch, and as well Dani Sanchez. I'm a big fan of Dani Sanchez. Seeing Einar on the pitch was great. So yeah. So Malaga kicked off. I think throughout the whole first half, Malaga was the better team. Recreated the chances, wasn't it, Joe?
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought as well. Yeah, I think there was still lots of opportunities where Cordoba were playing it out nicely and attacking very high up the pitch, but I think Malaga definitely had the better chances. I think there was one save that Herrero made in the first half, but it wasn't super difficult. I think it was from a corner or a nice set piece routine from Cordoba. But in general, I think Malaga had the best chance, and yeah, I think there was one chance early in the 12th minute or so that I don't know. Maybe you guys saw in the stadium as well. Probably, I'm not sure what Kevin was trying to do. He's breaking down the left side. He kind of like, it wasn't even a shot. It wasn't a pass. It was like we said like a P roll. Like he just like tapped it, and it was like that indecisiveness that just is kind of plaguing his game and maybe the other forwards as well.
I think with Kevin, his feet are quicker than his head. So I think sometimes he does things without thinking about them, or not thinking very well about them. I don't know, because he has the talent, and I think we've seen throughout the first half, he fights for every ball. His defending is pretty good, so he can be he could be the best player of Malaga Club football. He has the talent, he has the motivation, he puts the effort in it, gives his 110%. But then I don't know what happened. 7 minutes, and this is bad news, I think, for Malaga. Maybe the worst news. That is, Luismi got injured, left the pitch. Are you worried for Luismi?
Yeah, I am. It's not the first time that it's happened this season, and when it's happened, I think that we've seen it in results that Malaga's not been the same you can criticise Luis in a way. He's a player that gets injured a lot, but we should be having a good replacement, and I don't think we've got it in that position. So it is a thing to worry about and more in this time of the season.
The thing I always love about Spain is how they describe the injuries. Because you have to be a doctor to understand them most of the time. So I will say it in Spanish, and we can see how good Sergio's uh, doctor skills are. Because I tried Google Translate with it, and I don't think that's a part on your body. So he had pain in his ischiotibialis.
I think, if I'm not wrong, it's his hamstring. I think he's. If I'm not wrong, I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah. So I think if it is his hamstring, it could be a very big problem, and it usually is. Should we be worried with a hamstring injury, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, if I very quickly put on my Chelsea hat, one of our captain, Reece James, is plagued by hamstring injuries, and they're not easy to come back from. And especially at this time of the season, after a lot of games, if you get a hamstring injury, then they will kind of, they take a long time to recover from. And of course, when your midfield's already lost Ramon and they maybe lost Luis, maybe potentially at the end of the season, I mean, there's still a few games to go. I think hamstring injuries are never an easy one to come back from. You don't want to rush back from a hamstring injury, and I made that maybe tempting for the club with their situation, losing one of the better midfielders, but yeah, not an easy one to come back from in a short period of time. Yeah, I saw FootMob class it as a muscle injury, which is also quite vague. It could be any muscle, but yeah, it's concerning, definitely.
It's definitely concerning because I think he is one of the key players of this Malaga. Cordoba also forced into an early change in the 20th minute. Malaga, huge chance for Chupete. I have here, hits the bar. It was a great chance, wasn't it? I mean,
It was. You can't be missing the chances. You have to take him, and he missed. It's frustrating to see because he's been scoring them chances all season with Atletico Malagueño, but obviously he's human. He feels the pressure, and the ball didn't go in.
yeah.
So yeah, very frustrating, and we can't blame him either. He's a player that's been playing with the youth until not long ago, and I mean he's not our main striker, so in that way we can't blame him. But yeah, very important chance that didn't go in.
So throughout the whole first half, I thought Malaga was the better team. I even said to guys who came up to me in during halftime, they told me, "Oh, we're going to lose." I said, "No, I'm all confident. We are way better. We have this. This will be our victory. Well, a huge step towards safety." Because that's how I felt. What did you make of the first half, Joe?
So yeah, I was watching on TV, and actually the commentator I was watching on Spanish TV, he described the game as muy divertido y dos equipos muy valiente, which I don't think Malaga was super brave, but I think they were the better team. I think they had more encouraging chances. They didn't. I mean, throughout the game, I don't think the defense was that exposed. I mean, we'll go on to the goal, of course, but I think they were the better team. I think it was two good teams showing respect to one another. But I was optimistic for the second half. I don't know what was said at halftime, but
I don't know what happened either. The things I remembered from the first half was, in my opinion, I thought Kevin was pretty good. Created a lot of danger. Defended well. Kevin was great until his yellow card. Einar, for me, best guy, one of the best guys on the pitch. So was Dani Sanchez, and didn't see Lobete in the first half either.
No, as well, I would point out La Rubia. I think it were decent. as well, attacking wise.
What about La Rubia? Yeah.
Mhm.
And yes, I said Loete was a little bit quiet, and I think we missed him. I think from our attacking wise, he's one of our best finishers at the moment, at least. And yeah, we missed him in that way. But yeah, I would point out La Rubia. And I think Bua was all right as well attacking.
Tua was great as well.
Bua was really good. And yeah, but a shame that again we couldn't get the ball in the back of the net.
The thing that strikes
Cordoba,
me,
I was
the
gonna say
thing that
Cordoba
strikes
were
me,
playing a really high line. I don't know if
yeah,
that impacted the performance at all. Like Kevin was caught offside a few times. Maybe that's also impacted Lebete's game, but they play a really high line. They were on the halfway line quite often.
yeah,
Um,
that also
yeah,
gives you space.
yeah. And they
Yeah.
got in
And I
behind a
think
couple of times.
there were a lot of moments where something was about to happen for Malaga. So we created danger more than in any other match because Cordoba leaves that space. And I think we didn't do bad. I mean, there were actions. There were we were pretty much attacking as well. I think we were more attacking than Cordoba, and I think that says a lot. Um, but then Kevin wouldn't be Kevin if he got another strange yellow card in a position where you don't have to make those fouls too. And then I think the reason why Kevin was subbed off was pure the yellow card because he wasn't playing bad. He was playing very well.
Yeah.
I've seen him a lot on the pitch. Normally, when he plays a bad match, he disappears. You don't see him. But now he had the ball a lot. He recovered quite a few balls as well. But then the stupid yellow cards, and then knowing Kevin, I would have subbed him off just because of the yellow card.
Yeah, I agree. And something that gets me mad, if I think he looked for that yellow card. You know that he misses the next match. It's a very popular week. Next one here in Malaga, and I've got a feeling that he looked for it and he wanted to miss the next game. I don't
Really?
know.
Really?
I don't know. Knowing Kevin, probably. I don't know.
It
I
is
might
a
be
huge
wrong,
night
but
in Malaga,
it
though.
was. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if he did it on purpose. I don't. I think it's a really silly foul. I don't know why he does it. And
Didn't fancy the trip up to Huesca.
yeah,
I,
he doesn't want to go to Huesca. That's my
Monday is a big night. We're going to look up in a. I think we will do a preview on Semana Santa, and we will do a preview on Huesca. Yeah, I don't know. I saw people saying that on Twitter as well, and I thought, I don't believe that. But now that you're saying it, Sergio, I believe it a bit.
It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me.
I went to halftime very confident, as I said earlier. It might have been the Bears. It might have been Malaga playing very good first half. And then we went into tea time. I mean, what can change in 50 minutes, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, there's quite the cliche. It's like, what did the manager say at halftime? But I think in this scenario, it could apply. The style of play was completely different. It was, I wouldn't even call it defensive. It just wasn't anything. It felt like Malaga, at least for the first 20 minutes, maybe until the subs came on, they were just existing in the game. Like they're kind of just there and not really doing anything. I mean, Romani came on for halftime for Kevin. I didn't really see him do much. Maybe you saw something else in the stadium, but yeah, it's one of those situations. It's like the first half and second half was Jekyll and Hyde, night and day, like completely different.
So yeah, I think we were 5 minutes in. For the first time, I was on time for the second half because usually the players started already and then I come up. But I was on time. 5 minutes in, everything looked pretty good. We were playing towards the Fondo Sur, and I think that always helps a bit in a way. What happened, Sergio? A free kick.
Yeah, I think it killed us, that early goal, the free kick, and I think it all changed from that point. I think the players started to feel the pressure. The crowd started, like always when you concede a goal, mumbling, and the players felt it, and you just so was really nervous with the ball. We didn't create a lot apart of. I remember the only chance they were pretty clear, but apart of that, we were,
But you,
you could see the players felt the pressure. You could really
where,
see it.
where in the stadium are you sitting?
Preferencia.
Okay. How did you see the goal? I mean, what did you think of
I'm
it?
in the other goal, so it was a long hit, very long hit. I haven't seen the replay. I'm that mad that I don't want to watch the highlights again. The when you concede a goal that far, you might blame the goalkeeper. I don't know because I haven't seen the replay. I can't say a lot, but
I think you have a better
I imagine they
position.
were very fit.
I think you have a better position than I do because I thought Roberto Carlos took the free kick. Uh, because it went away a bit, the ball.
A
Yeah,
bit of dip. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Was it the keeper? Was it a mistake of Alfonso Herrero, Joe?
It's really hard to call it a mistake, but it's one of those ones where the keeper kind of tries to anticipate and he takes a step to the right, kind of to cover, expecting the player to go over the wall. But then, yeah, the Cordoba player Jacobo, he goes for the keeper's side, but Alfonso has taken a step to the right. He's got to get back, and when a player can hit a ball that well, it's hard for the keeper to get back, and that's what happened.
I didn't see it as a mistake because I've tried to watch the highlights back with one eye. I didn't really see a big mistake from Alfonso Herrero there.
It's just anticipation, and it can
Yeah.
go either way. Like if the player goes to the other side, then the keeper makes an amazing save. Yeah,
You can also say it was a very well taken free kick. Maybe.
Cordoba are known for scoring their screamers as well this season. They've scored quite a few, so obviously something that a lot of their players work on in training. But yeah, an awful start to the second half.
The goal, I think, killed the team. I think that is what basically happened.
yeah,
And the way I've seen playing the team in La Rosaleda this season, because this season is known for late goals, late Malaga goals, where in the 89th minute or 93rd minute or 78th minute Malaga scores a goal, and then you at least take a point. But I think after this goal, everybody in the stadium, everybody on the pitch, everybody on the bench knew this was it for yesterday. Basically, I guess. I think there's no spirit left in the team. The way they played yesterday, I have to say, La Rubia was great till the end.
Yeah, I thought so
He gave
too.
it up. Puga had an amazing match. Dani Sanchez, an amazing match. Einar, very well. How he defends, I mean, it was great to see him on the pitch. Manu Molina, I think he was pretty okay as well. But even Dioni worked a lot.
Had a good chance as well.
hmm
An amazing chance.
Yeah,
That should have been the 1-1 probably.
yeah. I'm sure of it. And yeah, I think you were saying Manu Molina was subbed. I didn't really get that because I think he gives a lot when Malaga's got the possession, attacking wise, and he subbed him. So I didn't really get that, and I think you could see it. It was difficult. There was no one giving passes to the strikers. Giannis was for me horrible again yesterday. We didn't do anything right.
No.
Pulga and La Rubia were really good. I think every chance that Malaga had were from that side, and yeah, they only had that chance, but it was a good save from Cordoba's goalkeeper. So yeah, it's the same as the first half. We couldn't get the ball in the back of the net.
It's a shame. I think we go to Chumbos and Bisnagas.
Yeah.
Let's start with Joe because it's his first one.
Okay,
Do you remember how it works?
of course I do, and I've got a feeling for my Chumbo for the first time.
Yeah.
They say go big or go home. I think I'm gonna go big. I think I heard someone say on previous episodes that it's acceptable, but I think I'm gonna go for the manager for Pellicer. Like I think the performance wasn't so bad that I can single out a player. Like I think Kevin, okay, had chances. Chupete had chances. I don't think the defense was. I think the defense played really well. No players stand out to me as performing really bad. But when you can't instill, like of course you can't. When you're a manager, you can't get your players to take chances. You can try and help them in training, but if you can't instill that belief or confidence in them to push on when times are tough, then that's the main job, of course, as well as the captain, but the manager. And yeah, like I said, maybe a controversial one for my first episode, but that's just where my thoughts are at.
You went up with your foot sliding into someone's knee in your first episode.
I get cancelled on the first episode.
I like it. Sergio.
My Jumbo, I repeat, I go with Janis again.
Do you like Chumbos, Sergio? You ever tried Chumbos?
No, actually, I never tried one.
Me neither. I don't think they're very
and I don't think it's something I'm going to try.
No, me neither.
But yeah, go with Janis again. I don't understand the substitution of bringing him on. I would rather have someone from Malagueño in front of him, or even Antonito. I know the situation with him is tricky at the moment about his future and not renewing his contract, but I think he still offers more than Janis at the moment. And when you're losing 1-0, well, not even losing, drawing in the moment that he came on the pitch, you need to play Antonito in front of him, and he didn't do it. And for me, he was the worst player on the pitch.
I think you made it very difficult for me because I very much agree with both. I also want to name in this list Lobete. I'm not giving him the Chumbo. I'm not giving it to Lobete, but I also think he was nowhere yesterday. Didn't see him at all. But I like the way Joe thinks and the way he makes his debut on the Gearycast with directly naming Sergio Pellicer. I think, and it's still early weeks, so still a lot can happen this week. I think I'm joining Sergio with Ramani because I think it was a total disaster. It was looking at, I don't know if they ever showed it here on TV or in England. In Holland, we had this show called America's Funniest Home Videos. That was Johnny's 45 minutes with Johnny's Ramani.
I think the only reason I didn't mention him is because I completely forgot he was on the pitch. So yeah, I think that's a very fair play to go with. I mean, yeah. I think I saw him on the floor once. That was it.
Yeah, I saw him a few moments. Because I was looking like, I thought, where's Giannis Romani? Where is he? And then he got the ball. I spotted him. I said, oh, there's Giannis. Oh, he lost the ball. It was, you can't even call it professional football. But we also looking towards positive things. I'm going to kick it off because I don't want to be it all negative. I also saw positives. And until the yellow card, Kevin for me was a very positive in the first half. Dani Sanchez was a positive. Einar was a very big positive. La Rubia a massive positive. Puga was positive for me. So if I give it to anyone, he is, I think, undoubtable the man of the match. For me, was David La Rubia. Oh, and I have to also mention in this list Aaron Ochoa, because he was also active and trying to create something, which is difficult when you're on the center of the pitch and the rest isn't basically giving a fuck. So I'm giving it to David La Rubia, because what a guy. Sergio.
Yeah, I give it to La Rubia as well. I'm between La Rubia and Puga, but I'm going to give it to La Rubia. I think you were really good. You were active. One of the best he's been in the last few games, to be honest. I think he's been very quiet this second half of the season. I think yesterday we were back to his level. And yeah, La Rubia takes it for me today.
Okay, Joe, you can make this a full house. Or, and it doesn't happen a lot, full houses on the podcast. You can make it a full house, or you can say, fuck it. I'm going straight at it again.
Straight in.
Controversial and directly, like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, let's see. Am I gonna?
No, this is the Giricast nowadays.
Yeah, complete change up. So yeah, I mean, I also agree that I think when Aaron came on, he's a very bright player, really nice on the half turn. He just creates space that I think the other players can't create, like in those risky situations. But unlike my first option, I'm going to be boring and make it a full house. I also went for La Rubia. Like, I think when a team is doubling up on you and putting two defenders closing you down, that's when you know you're having a good game. And I think he was the player who was most likely to, if Malaga were going to score, he was the most likely to either score it or make it happen. So yeah, I think he was the brightest player. Like I said, I think there was no, maybe Romani not really doing much. I think the defense was also great. I wouldn't, say they did bad at all. Just an unfortunate goal to concede, a screamer. But I think La Rubia definitely was the standout player yesterday.
Okay, so I'm gonna because we also need a bit of fun. If Manu Molina is Pirlo, listen very well. If Manu Molina is Pirlo, and let's say Alfonso Herrero is, name one, Ter Stegen, Casillas. Let's go with Casillas. So if Don Alfonso Herrero is Casillas and Manu Molina is Pirlo, who is David La Rubia, Joe?
So it was actually when I was watching the game yesterday, there's one player who really reminded me the play style of, where he kind of like cuts inside and goes back again, and it's not a former player. He's still a current player. He's still very young, and you're going to be biased. But he reminded me of Cole Palmer, like on that left foot. He goes in, he goes out, he'll take shots, and he's kind of like lanky and like thin style of play, but he'll kind of glide past players. Like, he really reminded me of Cole Palmer a bit. Of course, it'd be great for the club if he reached that level. But yeah, that's something that caught my eye yesterday. Maybe Sergio, you've got a former player or a more of a legend to compare to.
He has to be a legend. We can't accept this, Joe. You have to come up with a legend. It has to be a non-active player.
If I'm going for a legend, Chris might like it. Robin. He's only missing to square it in the top corner though. Arjen Robin for me.
Arjen Robben. Could be, but Arjen Robben always makes the same move.
Yeah.
Arjen Robben move.
You can't stop him, but
he's very left-footed. It reminds me
and that's the strange thing with Robben. It always worked with him.
Yeah.
Joe, I'm going to give you another chance.
Okay. I can't think of a left-footed guy cutting in, a legend.
Or you can just choose a legend on his position.
I mean, one of the players that I really like, who always Yeah, maybe he's a bit too bow-footed to be compared to, but always nice on the right was Pedro. Like, kind of unpredictable, like to cut in, always making things happen. I think very different profiles in the size of the players, but yeah, if we'll keep it Spanish as well, I really liked. How did Pedro still playing actually? But he's still a legend. He's a legend still. It's all right. We'll
It's
go
all
with Pedro.
Yeah.
Pedro Rodriguez.
We will choose Palmer then, because that was your first choice. I think I'm going to choose one of your twos because I will say from now on we call him David Robin. Or are we making it David Robin or Arjan Arjan La Rubia?
I like the second one.
Arjan
I
La
mean,
Rubia.
Yeah.
I'll start calling him that when he puts the ball in the top corner, like Robin.
Yeah, but Robin also really massively fucked up in the World Cup final, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's true.
We've got Casillas though. We've got Alfonso.
Yeah, we have. Well, that was it for this review, I guess. Unless any one of you has to say something else they want to mention.
Well, for me, it's probably a difficult weekend to take, mostly because the gap is narrow a lot with only 3 points, and a lot of people might be nervous, including me, because we don't want to be in the same situations we were a couple of years ago. It's really hard being relegated, and we don't want that to happen. But we just have to be together, back the team, back the manager. There's not long to go. There's no point of moaning or complaining in the ground because the players feel that pressure, and it's no good for them. I mean, for sure, I'm sure they're the first ones that want to win, the manager included, and we just have to back them, and we'll see what happens at the end of the season. But let's try to stay positive and let's see how the next few games go.
I totally agree. Thank you, Sergio. We will see you later this week in the preview. And thank you, Joe. We will also see you later this week in the preview.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and rate, because rate is a thing which is very important for podcasts, it seems. I hear Matt Harrison in my voice now, because if you rate us, like if you give us 5 stars, or how many stars you can give, I don't know where you're listening, that seems to get you bigger, or I don't know how it works. I don't know anything of that, but it's important. So rate, like, subscribe, and keep following us, and Vamos Malaga. Yeah, Vamos Malaga.
Vamos Malaga.
Sergio, Vamos Malaga.
Vamos, Malaga.
Yeah.